I'm happy, I'm excited, but also we're not here just to, get here. We have to, be able to host games and compete for championships. So there's not going to be any consolation prize for anybody. We understand what we have to do.
Okay, like I said, Mike Holley joins us from the Garden. Phil Perry here. Mike, I'll start with you. Do you believe the team really in their core is not satisfied? In other words, they've exceeded even their own expectations. Are you confident that they've reset and said, now that we are where we are, we need to go on a run?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not surprised to hear Mike Vrabel say that, fellas, and I'm glad he said it. This is really who he is. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less from a guy who was a championship player with the Patriots and has come in and he established that standard before they even played a game. So that's the right mentality for the Patriots to hear, even if I'm not sure if he thinks he's got a Super Bowl team right now, but they, Phil and Mike, they should be thinking that they got a chance to win it, no question.
Yeah, they should be feeling that way because they do. They have a chance. It's just the way it's shaken out this year. And offensively, the way they're playing, the way their quarterback is playing, they have a shot. So they should not be satisfied. What kind of loser would you be if you were satisfied to get all the way to this point, be the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they'd say, you know what, actually, we're good. This is fine. I do sense, though, Mike, what I would call a level of confidence that I don't want to say that it feels like they feel like they're playing with house money, but it just feels like there is a relaxed and confident air about them right now. And it doesn't surprise me given the way they've handled themselves all year.
I think it's going to be a tough thing, actually, for them, just a little psychological thing because, again, the big picture stuff that they set out and we wanted from them, they did accomplish. They accomplished it, really, frankly, a couple months ago. Young franchise quarterback, everyone feels good about. Vrabel reestablishing himself as a high-end NFL coach. Good roster. Looked like it was a pretty good draft. Like, whether they win or lose, all those things are in place and everyone feels good about it going forward, which is, I think, a little dangerous, and I think they do have to fight it, which is why perhaps Vrabel even said it, Mike. I mean, I think there's a reason he probably said it.
And you know what, guys? And you think about it, Felger, I know you are a social media animal, and I can't keep you off social media. But really, that's one of the things that Mike Vrabel and other coaches have to think about in 2026. They didn't have to think about when Vrabel was playing or even the early days of Vrabel's coaching career. Another way of saying this is, hey, as Mike Felger would say, stay off the internet. Don't listen to your friends and family. Don't listen to all this stuff. I need you to just lock in and buy in, continue to buy in what I've told you from day one. So it's really, I think it's just resetting expectations. He's probably just going, it's review for them. He said this stuff before, but it's resetting expectations as they go into the playoffs and they have a chance to do something special.
Phil, do you think there are stakes for some individual players in this game, or do you feel like they feel this is our roster, we're all set, or are there still things to learn? Like, are we sure that they don't need a number 1 receiver, that Steph Diggs is good enough as a number 1 receiver? Could that be decided in this postseason? This is an offseason where they could pay Christian Gonzalez. Is this a final exam for him and he's going to get a contract extension? I think individual players have stakes here in these playoffs.
Oh, no doubt. I would be surprised if the roster didn't change relatively significantly going into next year, Mike, to be totally honest.
What if they go to the Super Bowl?
If they go to the Super Bowl, I still think they have spots on this roster that really need to be addressed. Remember, this is still year 1 of a new regime. That it almost never happens that a coach is totally satisfied with the group that he has come in with, or a general manager that's working for that coach, as is the case with Elliott Wolf right now. So, I would be stunned if they didn't turn it over in a significant way, even if they get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Vrabel once referred to Gillette Stadium as a viper's den when he was coaching Tennessee. That sounds like some high-level bullcrap right there. Here he is talking about the home field advantage today.
Well, I mean, it just got to be a tough place to play in January. If we're able to get there in January like we are, we have to create an environment that makes it difficult to play. whatever the record was back, when I was looking at the stats in 2019, 21-3 or whatever it was in January. I'm going to be off by a couple games because it's a few years ago, but that, we were talking about, what we would have to do to come in and win, and we need to create a hard environment. We need to play well, and let our crowd feed off of us and let us feed off of them.
All right, so here's the path to the AFC title game, and just what I like is, well, you got a dome, warm weather California team coming across country in week 1. In week 2, you're either going to get a dome team in the Texans, a Sun Belt team in the Jaguars coming up here for another cold weather game, or a team that we think stinks, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, Buffalo Bills, you wouldn't face them to the AFC title game, and that's at home. You have the Bills and the Broncos maybe lining up in that second round. They get to beat each other up and, eliminate one or the other, and you just face one, not two. I think, Phil Perry, I'll start with you. This is an excellent road for the Patriots.
I think so, too, although I look at that Texans team, and that feels disrespectful just to put dome team next to that. That's a badass team. If you watch that, they are physical. They're tough.
They are a badass, tough dome team.
They are factually a dome team, yes, but I don't think they satisfy the spirit of what you're going after here. That being said, the path is a good one, and it's partly because the AFC is just so tightly packed. There's not a team in the field, Broncos included, Bills included. The Bills might lose this weekend to the Jags. That would not surprise me whatsoever. So there's just not that standout team. So, you could put almost any team in the AFC up on that list there and say, I like their path.
Mike?
Hey, Phil said that it was disrespectful to call Houston a dome team. I think it's all disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful, Felger, to call the Chargers a dome team. They're the same thing. They're the same kind of thing. They don't have the defense that the Texans have. But this is a tough team. I don't understand. How do we get to the point where we look at the Chargers and that, oh yeah, that's an easy one. They're coming from the West Coast, and so they'll just wilt on Sunday night. I think also, and I should have mentioned this last night, I think Sunday night actually works in the Chargers' favor. This is no Sunday at 1 p.m., which is definitely in the favor of an East Coast team. If you're playing some West Coast team Sunday at 1, that's 10 a.m. for them. Now this is like a 5:30 game for the Chargers. So, look, I really don't think I love your dome research. I respect it, but I don't think it's going to be a factor on Sunday. I really don't. I'll be surprised if it is.
We shall see. I do think the weather is a factor and plays in the Patriots' favor. But back to Vrabel's comment about it being a viper's den. I don't think this might surprise people. I do not think Gillette Stadium is a hard place to play. I don't think it's ever been a hard place to play. When I covered Vrabel as a player, he and his teammates used to complain all the time about the lack of crowd noise in the stadium, about the crowd not knowing when to cheer. Hey, guys, it's third down. It's time to get up. I remember Vrabel and Seymour and other guys like that being disappointed in the crowd. It's not a loud stadium. Maybe it's different since they closed it in. You can tell me I'm not there as much as I used to be. I think the Patriots are a tough team to play against when they're good. But the stadium, Phil, you tell me, is the stadium in and of itself a hard place to come in and play?
I think calling it a Viper's Den was probably a pretty good sales job by Vrabel at the time back in 2019. And he did have the numbers to point to, right? Because they were a good team and they had Tom Brady. So 21-3 or whatever they were at that time was all legit, and it all probably served its purpose in terms of, striking some concern into the hearts of his players. Now, just in terms of the stadium in general, it's not Arrowhead, right? It's not some of these places that, it's not Seattle where you're setting records. It's not Denver. It's not. So the difficulty, of playing at Gillette Stadium is based on the team itself and what kind of product they're producing.
And the weather, if you're coming from the indoors.
That's fair.
Whether you're tough or whatever, it's different. Passer rating differential, it's another thing. Another core thing of mine, Mike Holley. The dome thing is one, but this is one stat that I think really does play, and that is passer rating differential. That the NFL is based on how you pass and how you defend the pass. And the best teams are the best passing teams and the best teams defending the pass. And so that's the differential. The Patriots have the second best passer rating differential in the AFC. The Bills have the best. Okay, you might be surprised to learn that. Patriots pass defense, I don't think has been all that great, yet they are second in this stat. The Chargers, surprisingly, are third. So, Phil, I'll start with you. How does this inform us on this game?
This is the most, I would say, well-balanced team that the Patriots will face all year. And it might be the best defense that they'll face all year.
Overall, let me stop you. Could you say that the Chargers are the second best team overall they've faced all year?
I think you could say that.
Okay, go ahead.
I would have the Bills there first, and then I would put the Chargers second. And it's due in large part, quite frankly, to their defense. I would start there. They're top 10 in a number of different categories, EPA per play, turnovers, sacks, points. This is an excellent, excellent unit across the board. And lucky for the Patriots, they've done really well against zone. This is an incredibly zone-heavy defense, so maybe it's a good matchup for New England. But this is a great defense that they're bringing with them to Foxborough.